Oh my god! Let her melaba. Dawa why? This is how the secret song. So you may hold the doors. I know.
Guys, coming here, welcome back to Langrisser and News from the Future. So alright, on part 1 of 3 of the video, we will be featuring the skill talent faction of the collab characters Kirika from Shining Resonance. So are you guys ready? And here we go. So alright, for the part of the video, we'll be only featuring the exclusive skills only, and only on the demo play will we showcase the rest of the skills that the character possesses. So alright, the talent of Kirika. And sorry, before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app, Soyu. And alright, first off, for the faction, she is from the collab faction, Princess and Yellows. Apparently, quite surprisingly, I don't think this collab has any protagonist faction. Because apparently this time around, the collab has almost nothing to do with the protagonist. Instead, it's more like what we call it, an OVA, or like a spin-off of the Langrisser story itself, which probably, if there's given a chance, we will explain it in the upcoming vid. So right, her talent is known as Kagura Chord or God Song. So the effects are as follow: increase attack by 20%, and if you have not attacked when you end your turn, multiply your remaining movement max 2 times to your unit's range for both single target and AoE damage. And this effect cannot be dispelled. It can be stacked to a max 8 tiles and lasts for 2 turns. And when stacking, the continued turn will recover to max. And I presume when they say recover to max is meaning it will reset the charges. So meaning if your characters by default is able to move 3 steps. So if you just end your turn, it will be 3 times 2. So the next turn when you try to cast your skills, it will extend or prolong another 6 more range, and that's definitely a lot. So the max is plus 8 range. That is almost full screen already. So let's repeat again. Number 1, increase attack by 20%. And number 2, if you have not attacked when you end your turn, multiply your remaining movement max 2 times to your unit's range for both single target and AoE damage. This effect cannot be dispelled, can be stacked max 8, and lasts for 2 turns. When stacking, the continued turn will recover to max. And oh, before I forget, do note that watch towards the end of the video, I'll do the translation that I did for the characters. So watch to the end, thanks. Right, going to exclusive skill 1, which is the skill you are seeing here, is known as Falling Swallow. It's a 1C skill, CD of 2, range is targeting self, the AO type is a single support. So the effects are as follow: teleport yourself to target locations. When you end your turn, let your allies who are 2 turns around you gain the buff damage deal increased by 10% for a turn. So it's pretty short and straightforward. Let's repeat again. Number 1, teleport yourself to a target location. When you end your turn, let your allies who are 2 turns around you gain buff damage deal by 10%. So basically this AoE effect is to just to stop you from wasting your movement speed. So you can teleport yourself to a short distance of the location you want, while at the same time you can slightly buff your allies at the same time trigger your talent. So by default, once you cast this, the following turn 2 or the coming turn, you will gain at least 3 times 2, which is increase your skill range by 6 squares or tiles. So apparently that's a lot. Then moving to exclusive skill 2, okay, which is from her second class, third path, which is the one shown here. It is known as Dancing Rain or Dance Time Rain. 2C, CD of 2 turns. The range is 2, and it's a type is a physical AoE of 3 squares or tiles. So it has both passive and active skills. So for passive, when your talent gain 3 or more stacks, increase this AoE range by +1. So once your talent has at least 3 squares or tiles increment, you increase your AoE range by +1, meaning it will now become 4x4 instead of a 3x3 AoE skills. So that's pretty great. So let's begin. When your talent gain 3 or more stacks, increase the AoE range by +1. Then for the active skills, deal 0.3 times AoE damage to enemies in range. 2 applies to damage enemies the effect Arrow Rain or Rain Arrow. If they have not moved when they end their turn, they will take a fixed damage of 2 times the caster attack. And for each step they move, reduce the damage deal by 0.5 times. Arrow Rain's effect will last for 2 turns. So alright, let's repeat again. So basically it's kind of like similar to the fake Emperor skills. His 3C, like once you damage enemy before they attack, they move, you take the fixed damage of certain amount of X amount. This is like those skills made for instead of cavalry or infantry, now they shift it to infantry class. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1, deal 0.3 times AoE damage to enemies in range. Apply to damage enemies the effect Arrow Rain. So effect as follow. If they have not moved when they end their turn, they will take a fixed damage based on 2 times the caster attack. Then second, for each step they move, reduce the damage deal by 0.5 times. Do note that Arrow Rain effect lasts for 2 turns. And last, moving to the 3C exclusive skills. It is known as Flash Brilliant. So the CD of the skill is 3, the range is 3, the type is a physical AoE, straight line, then you have both passive and active for the skill. So we'll go through the passive first. So right, when receiving range attack, or when receiving range attack and entering battle, there is a 13% chance that will trigger the effect. Damage received by units are reduced by 20%. Okay, it's kind of low, though I was expecting to be like at least between 30 to 50%. So the passive is kind of to allow you to have a higher chance to survive range attack. So let's repeat again. When receiving range attack and entering battle, there's a 30% chance that will trigger the effect. Damage received by units are reduced by 20%. Sorry, correction. I mean, initially I'm expecting this skill effect will have a 50% chance to be triggered. So 30% as of this stage is still kind of low. I mean, I have been seeing the recent Apex from CN, the damage dealt by a lot of heroes are very crazy. and you still have to wait for 30% of the chance to trigger that. It's like you have a higher chance of death. That's like really a high chance to. You really need a lot of good luck for that. So right, moving to the active skills. So the skill as follow: you damage enemies in a straight line and deal to the closest enemy 0.6 times AoE damage. And if the closer enemies' defense are greater than magic defense, the damage they receive will be treated as magic damage. And as for enemies who are further away, they will take 0.2 times damage and cause all damage targets to lose their armor item effect, excluding HP stats. And if enemies are non-PvP, the armor effect, losing effect will be changed to reduce defensive stats by 25% and reduce enemy movement by -2. And do note that this debuff of losing armor effect or reducing the non-PvP stats effects will last for 2 turns. So let me repeat again. So 1, damage enemies in a straight line. Then for closest enemy, you will deal 0.6 times AoE damage to them, and if the closer enemies' defense are greater than magic defense, the damage they receive will be treated as magic damage instead. And as for the enemies who are behind or further away, they will take 0.2 times damage instead. So, okay, so 0.4 is enemies further away will take 0.2 times damage. 0.5 cause all damage PvP enemies to lose armor effect, excluding HP stats. And 0.6, if enemies are non-PvP, the 0.5 effect will be changed to reduce defensive stats by 25% and movement reduction by 2 instead. Both effect 5 and 6 last for 2 turns only. And apparently, when Kirika is being released, so right, we almost come to the end, so just some bug issues that we have find out in the CN. I'm not sure it has been cleared already. So apparently when Kirika is being released, the 3C effect of if enemies defense is greater than magic defense, the damage they take will be treated as magic defense. There are 2 points to take note. One is that how the damage is being dealt is not treated individually, but is based on the first target. So meaning if there are 3 enemies standing in a straight line and you try to cast this AoE, the first enemy, let's say, is Grand Shu. She has 1,000 normal defense and 500 magic defense. Then the damage you deal will be treated as magic damage, and Grand Shu and the rest of the target behind, the damage they take will be treated as magic damage. Second point to take note is that there seems to be a bug issue right now, which I mentioned early on, is that if you have equipped with items like Dragon Slayers to specifically targets against heroes like Grand Shu. So the thing is, Grand Shu is a physical attack and defense heroine. So let's say her defense is 1,000, the magic damage is her magic defense is 500, and instead, so as long as her physical defense is higher than her magic defense, so the damage deal will be treated as magic damage. However, at this point, because of the conversion, you will not receive the extra attack percentage increment from items like Overlord or Dragon Slayers and any items that has provide these additional stats because of the converting from normal attack, from physical attack to magic damage. So hopefully they'll do something about it, or it will be patched up by the time this video is made and done. I do know that they will be making a patch about it, but I'm not sure if it's related to Kirika's 3C, because right now it's currently proven that her 3C has this bug issue of not able to trigger Overlord and Dragon Slayers and also other items with those effects that when you are fighting the specific unit, you'll gain the extra attack because of the conversion to magic damage. So yep, that's it. What did you guys think? Is she very strong, good, or normal? Leave it down in the comment sections below. But nonetheless, before we end, I gotta say this is waifu heroine. I definitely got to draw her. And in case you guys are wondering who are the artists who drawn this series, you can go to Wikipedia and search for Tony Taka or Taka Tony. Yep, he's the guy responsible for such nice art pieces from Shining series and some of his adult works. If you're interested, this is coming. We'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next video. Goodbye.